What's going on, guys? This is my Toyota Sequoia 2001. I think this is why everyone needs a beater. I've got a Mach 1 Mustang that was really expensive, but honestly this thing gets me as much pleasure as the Mach 1. So let's take a drive. Let's talk about why everyone should own a beater like this. As you can see, nothing special at all. I actually got all my dirt bike riding gear in the back. Sunroof is great, doesn't work. So why would you want a car like this? Let's start it up and check it out. All right, guys, let's take a little trip and talk about why you need a beater. Why is it so important to have a beater? Well, the reason it's so important is because if you drive a $70,000 car every day, you're gonna be worried about bumping it, scratching it. Also, you're gonna be worried about having a freaking blanket on the seat. Your feet are gonna be getting dirty. This thing, look, I left this in the drink in here overnight. Look, my Mustang Mach 1 is completely clean. Look at this dust. There's a freaking cockroach in the dashboard. And guess what? This is my pet cockroach. I don't care. I don't care. Do you think I care? This is the best part about it. I don't care. It's great. So, in the Mustang Mach 1, you want to preserve it. And this thing is a tank. It's got 254,000 miles. You literally can't hurt it. You can hurt it, but you can't hurt it. Do you see what I'm saying? The Mach 1 is just gonna get more damaged, more dirty, more injured, more miles on it. The Cup 2 tires are gonna wear down. You know, the motor's gonna, this thing is a tank. This thing will last 10 more years. I won't need to change the timing belt for 5 years. Look at it. The AC's blowing cold. The seat, I've got this big armrest here. The passenger's got these big hand rests so I can just drive like this. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sure it doesn't have the blind spot for merging like that. I have to look over my shoulder, which is, you know, not the most, it's fine though. Like, I have insurance on the car. If I hit someone or they hit me, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so total investment, 0 car payment. It was $3,400. Car insurance is just going to be liability only. If you carry more than liability on a $3,000 car, maybe if you don't have $3,000 in your bank account, then that's a smart idea. But as soon as you get enough money to pay for that car, I don't see why you'd carry car insurance on it. The next thing would be just, you know, you want a car that you can do that, where you can just throw all your crap in the back of it and it doesn't matter. So if I'm looking at this vehicle from a perspective, like, the Mustang is completely useless to me if I need to tow things. So if I'm a person that actually needs to tow a dirt bike like I do, then the Mustang is 100% useless, because the Mustang won't tow a dirt bike, okay? Number one. Number two, if you need to seat more than 4 people, the Mustang is absolutely useless. So it gets a 0 in those 2 categories, 0 and 0, right? So what I'm trying to say is, for certain people, the Mustang is going to be an absolute 0. And on the days that I want to go to the lake house and ride dirt bikes, the Mustang gets a 0. And if there's days that I need to carry a lot of stuff inside the car, the Mustang will get a 0. It's actually useless. And for a lot of people, they need to carry stuff on a trailer every day, and then they need to haul people, more than 3, every single day. And they might need to be in work boots when they get off work every single day. So there's a lot of reasons. And here's the thing, this thing gets the same gas mileage as the Mustang also. This is a 20-year-old SUV that will tow 7,000 pounds and seat 7 people with a 3rd row bench seat. And the AC works just the same. As far as functionality, it doesn't cost $700 a month in car payment, right? It burns the same amount of gas. I have to go to the gas station less because this has more range. It has a 20-gallon tank. So look, guys, the tires are cheaper on this thing. All around, it's just way, way, way cheaper. And it's probably gonna be less stressful for people if they are kind of like OCD and they need to have something that they want to preserve. And the great thing about this is it's already like, an old car will only get better if you make it better. A new car, it's hard to make a new car any better. Like this car, I can take out, I can clean the inside, I could get a new paint job, it's all faded. I could make it nicer with a new paint job, although that's way too much of an investment on a $3,000 vehicle. I'm trying to keep total costs down. So, by the way, this has 4-wheel drive with a high and low gearbox transfer case. So I can go off-roading. This was good. I can go off-roading. I can take this through the snow. When it rains here, which it does a lot, I can take it. It's like, it doesn't matter. The new Mustang, like, do I really want to take it when there's tornado warnings and hail? There's literally hail warnings sometimes in Tennessee. So which car do you think I'd rather be driving when there's hail, right? Obviously this car. If this gets hail damage, you know, that's actually fine. So it's not that big of a deal. So there you go. And you can even let trucks over because you're not as arrogant, because you're not in a $70,000 Mustang being a hot boy. Being a hot boy, just driving around. They even say thank you back. See the little thank you? That's what we do here in Tennessee. We just let each other over. Like one big happy family in our old cars and our old trucks with our half-drink Diet Limeades and our Mexican blankets from out there out on the West Coast. So, guys, I just think that's why everyone should have. Well, what I'm really trying to say is that you can have as much fun. I've seen guys that are like 50 years old having as much fun in a convertible Miata. I guarantee you they were having as much fun. I can look at the look on their face. I can see the look on their face when they're driving a convertible Miata, that they're having as much fun as I am in my Mach 1. They got their little sun hat on. They're like 50 years old. They've got like this kind of beige tan sun hat on, and they're by themselves, and it's kind of like their midlife crisis Miata. It's like a 99 or 2004 Miata. They got the top down and they're going for a drive. You think that they're having less fun than me in my $70,000 Mach 1? Nope. They're in like a $7,000 Mazda Miata and they're having as much fun. Just as when I drive this truck, I'm not having any less fun at any point than I am in that Mach 1. And vice versa, when I'm driving the Mach 1, I'm not having any less fun than I am now. So it's all relative, guys. Just enjoy the car that you got. And you don't have to go get the most expensive. You know what they say about boats? Well, there's a couple things. They say a couple things about boats. One of the things is, you know, it's always better to have one of your friends that has a boat, not yourself, because they say the day you sell it's your best time of having a boat is the day you sell it. The other thing is they talk about is basically buy as far as a race car, buy a car that you can afford to just throw away in the trash. And that's almost like the Sequoia is. It's such an affordable car that you can throw it away and it's not going to hurt you. And that's kind of how you want your possessions. You know, you can have really nice things in life and it'll help you, maybe persuade you to do certain things better in your life, but also at the same time it's really good to not be so attached that you would cry and die and have a meltdown if something happened to your little car, right? Like, you're screwed, man. You're totally screwed if you're so attached to your car that if someone hit it, that you would fall over and start screaming and yelling at somebody. You're screwed. Like, there's no way that that's good for you. Do you get it? Unless it's motivating you to do something else. So if I have a wreck in this car today, I just go, oh well, That's it, right? That's what's so useful about it. So go out there and enjoy what you got, and buy you a beater, man, and enjoy it. And you don't need to have the most expensive, you don't need, young guys, especially the young guys. I know you want to flex and show off and compete with your, you know, your brothers, your compadres, but dude, honestly, it's a bigger flex to just like have a throwaway car like this and not, and you're happier inside than to try to compete. You get it? Like, I'm not competing with anyone with the Mach 1. That's not the point of it. The point of it is because it was a dream car and I wanted to get it. But you have to go through the process to learn all that stuff, right? So, you know, enjoy what you got. And this is not going to resonate with everyone, this message, because I've got a lot of young viewers that are still reaching for the moon and still reach for the moon, but also just realize, like, once you get there, you're still going to want to go further and further and further and further, and it's never ending. So at some point, do you want to like be happy with where you're at, or be content a little bit, or you just want to constantly be just always chasing and never ever satisfied? That's fine, as long as you don't like being satisfied, because you're going to die one day, right? Like everyone, and you don't know when it's going to be. So you might as well just go ahead and be content along the way. As you're striving, still be happy, and strive and be happy at the same time. That's possible. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I feel like I'm doing, and that's also what I'm striving for at the same time. So go enjoy your cars, guys. All different shapes, sizes. All right. I had a really crazy coaching call with a lady this morning who's a VP of a multi-billion-dollar business. She's a personal training client. And I'm trying to help her get through this situation, and you have to be patient, and you have to enjoy the car that you have until it's ready for the next one, and then you let the old one go. You let it go, it's done, and then you let the new one come in, and it's here, and you enjoy it. And the process of letting go, coming and going, it's very freeing and open. It's not about the money, guys. You think me talking about this stupid video is gonna make me money? Nobody wants to hear what I'm talking about right now, but I'm doing it because it's what I want to do, and it'll resonate with like 3 or 4 people really, really well, and the mass majority aren't developed enough to understand it, right? And it's not gonna resonate with them very well. If I was trying to do like a video that resonates with a lot of people, then I would do something that was trending. I would try to cultivate a video that was trending, but I'm just in this Toyota Sequoia today, and I wanted to share with you like how valuable an old car is. It's just awesome. There's pros and cons to the new cars, and there's pros and cons to the old cars. So be patient where you're at and keep striving for more. All right, guys, so we're back in the Mustang Mach 1, and everything I said about not having a nice car, it's not necessarily true. Having a nice car is freaking awesome. Now, here's the other part of it. When I go back to the Toyota Sequoia, that will be just as much fun driving it as it is driving this. It is extremely fun to go back and forth. Okay, not everyone's in that position, but it's also, honestly, I just want to talk about how good this car is, because I used the cold start. I've started it up. It was in normal mode. It was so loud when I started it up. The car sounds amazing. You get into it, you put it in reverse, you can feel how tight the brakes are, how tight the suspension is. The car looks like $1 million. It literally drives like $1 million. It's like you're driving a little Porsche or something. It literally feels like that. The 15 Mustang felt long-nosed and floppy suspension. This thing feels tight, buttoned down, super sporty. It feels like a track car. It literally feels like a track car, and that's pretty much what it is. I mean, it's got Cup 2 tires, and it has track settings and aero and differential, so it's a track car. But it's a track car that you can drive on the street. I've got the AC on. It's an automatic. I'm in traffic. I got it dashed down in D, just letting it do its thing, and it is still just amazing to drive. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Yeah, you know, when you're in an older used car, like, this can't pull my dirt bikes, and this cannot seat more than you know, 3 passengers, and it's really tight back there, and it's really expensive for the tires, and it's like getting 18, it's getting the same gas mileage as that truck. Yeah, and people look at it and you feel a certain way when you drive it as well, because it's like you're wearing a tuxedo everywhere versus like you're wearing flip-flops and an old t-shirt and cargo shorts or something that are like, you know what I mean? So there is that aspect of it, but man, when you do have the opportunity to drive it, what I can tell you, it makes you want to drive it, and drive it hard, and drive it fun, and drive it fast. That's essentially the biggest difference. Is this car is literally exciting. It kind of excites you. It makes you want to drive the car. Hope that makes sense. It gets you excited to drive the car. It makes you want to just hit the gas, let it go through the gears, see how the steering feels, feel the suspension and tires doing their job, turn on some music. What a great car Ford built, you know. I know the GT350 and R and GT500 are probably just as much fun, but honestly, I don't know how much more fun they are, because this is a blast. Like, if you haven't driven a handling package Mach 1 with a 10-speed, it's freaking a blast. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.